He trying to set me up. He trying to set me up.
You want to get that 51-0? Try to get that easy work, and you call it, baby.
Listen, we gonna take the belt. We gonna get the payday, and I won't no shoulder excuses.
Well, I think we got it on. He's ready.
And AJ understands that also. There's talk of that fight happening now this year, and again, it's talk. You've got two fighters that don't need to fight, two fighters that really believe they were the best fighters in the world, that have to come to terms with it mentally. Two fighters that you know, we probably want the fight more than they do. So with these two fighters...
Floyd Mayweather allegedly confronting Terence Crawford at the airport over a refused fight offer feels more like desperation than dominance. At this stage, Mayweather seems eager to pull Crawford into his world of spectacle-driven matchups, but Crawford doesn't need theatrics to validate his greatness. His legacy is already defined by climbing divisions, dismantling champions, and cementing himself among the all-time greats, far beyond any airport drama Floyd tries to spark.
Paul? Nah.
He too big? He too big?
Yeah, Jake big, but he doing his thing, man. I'm gonna let Jake do what Jake.
You got 200 million for you.
I'm fighting Jake Paul. I'm fighting Jake Paul. Come on, Jake.
Crawford's clapback was as sharp as his jab. No theatrics, no wasted words, just pure intent. By saying, "Ga send the contract," he flipped Floyd's airport drama on its head. While Mayweather is chasing headlines, Bud is chasing greatness. That contrast couldn't be clearer. One man is trying to stay relevant through noise, the other is demanding respect through action. It's the mark of a fighter still writing history versus one clinging to his shadows.
Opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Javon.
Coldwell nailed it, pointing out that in boxing promotion, talk is normal. But laying hands outside the ring shows desperation, and Floyd stepping into theatrics only exposed his decline, while Crawford stayed focused on proving greatness where it truly counts, inside the ropes.
I'm not surprised.
Does that cross the line, do you think?
Yeah, it does. Listen, the presser was good. It was a great presser, back and forth, poking each other, but not too far. But once you get physical and you...
Tony Bellew put it into brutal perspective, saying Floyd's antics aren't just silly, but dangerous. Because playing with someone's eye isn't hype, it's reckless. And while Crawford builds legacy through discipline and skill, Floyd risks turning the sport into a sideshow, which is why fans aren't buying the act anymore.
Up in the face towards the eye.
In the ear as well.
People have to realise that I've got 2 scratched eyeballs, and the eyeball's the part of the body, it never heals. Yeah. So the best way to explain it is it would be like varnishing a door, and the varnish comes off, and then you've got to re-put the varnish back on.
Yeah, nice.
The liquid on the eye comes off in the cornea again.
And when Floyd was asked about his state of mind, his response showed how far removed he is from Crawford's focus. With classic Floyd talk about comebacks and self-belief, but the reality is clear. His best days are long gone, fans see through the recycled lines, and against a prime Crawford, words won't save him. Because legacy fights aren't built on nostalgia, but on proving it in the ring.
Nothing can hold me back. Nothing can hold me back. You know, like I said, I had to step back, regroup, get a new team. And
Tony Bellew captures the mood perfectly, saying this fight has blown up beyond imagination. What began as Floyd poking at Crawford has become a global spectacle, with fans hooked debating legacies and demanding answers, and while Mayweather may think he's still the centerpiece, it's Crawford carrying the anticipation, intrigue, and energy, handling every jab and cheap trick in a way that strengthens his aura, making it clear this isn't hype but history being written, because Floyd's drama may light the fuse, but it's Crawford's presence that makes this the biggest stage of all. Something the public knows, Bellew knows, And deep down, Floyd knows too.
This fight's just gone took another toll.
It's absolutely grabbed the public interest now to another level, isn't it?
This is quite simply the biggest fight this.
Adam Smith calls it straight, saying antics like this don't belong in boxing, but they've undeniably turned the spotlight brighter. With Floyd's attack reckless, unnecessary, and beneath the sport's traditions, yet in boxing, drama sells and the chaos has only magnified the stakes, while Crawford hasn't wavered for a second. His silence and composure adding more weight than any push, shove, or staged act. And fans are lining up not for Mayweather's antics, but for Crawford's chance to cement his pound-for-pound status against a legend clinging to old tricks. Because the truth is, Floyd may have added noise, but Crawford's presence gives this fight real meaning, and that's why anticipation is sky high, with the world waiting to see who walks away with the last word.
For the casual fans, do we condone it? I mean, in boxing terms, should that happen at a head-to-head? Of course not, but these things do happen. This is the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what...
As Media Day rolled around, Adola Depot highlighted how much was missed without the head-to-head drama Crawford himself demanded, pointing out that a proper face-off between Mayweather and Crawford would have electrified fans who crave those tense moments where eyes lock and neither man blinks. And in this case, it's Crawford who thrives under that intensity. But instead, we're left with Floyd's staged airport antics, while Bud waits for the only stare-down that matters inside the ring, glove to glove with no escape. And it's telling that Floyd dodges genuine confrontations and leans on theatrics to stay relevant, while Crawford doesn't need smoke and mirrors, thriving instead in silence before the storm, knowing he'll do the talking with his fists. Because a Crawford-Mayweather face-off would have shown the truth. One man desperate to prove he still belongs, and the other already writing the next chapter of greatness.
Oh, killed me. So today's like the media day. We're doing a bit of face-offs. Obviously, they're not doing a face-off with each other, which is a shame, because that would have been...
Shane Mosley speaks from experience, and his words cut through the hype, making it clear that having fought both Canelo and Mayweather, he doesn't hesitate to say Crawford edges Floyd not just because of size or reach, but because of timing, adaptability, and the hunger that still burns in a fighter at his peak. And while Floyd was technically brilliant, Mosley highlights the reality that Crawford brings tools Mayweather never had to face in his era: long arms, natural size, and seamless stance switching, a puzzle even the greatest technician would struggle to solve. And coming from someone who's shared the ring with both legends, that endorsement carries serious weight, confirming what fans have felt all along. Crawford isn't just next in line, he's the one who redefines the throne.
Fought both Canelo and Mayweather. You fought them both. Who did you think was better, Canelo or Mayweather? I know that's Canelo was saying it was Crawford better than Mayweather.
I was very impressed with Canelo at 21, but Mayweather was still technically more sound. I think Crawford is better. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. But Mayweather is definitely a technician. I mean, it's, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is it.
Oscar De La Hoya jumps into the debate and reminds everyone of the night Floyd toyed with a young Canelo. And he's right, because back then, Mayweather's defensive brilliance made Canelo look ordinary. But that was a different era, a different Canelo, and an even more different Floyd, and times have changed because Crawford is not the 21-year-old rookie Canelo once was. He's a complete ruthless fighter in his prime. So while De La Hoya's respect for Floyd's past is valid, it misses the reality that Bud Crawford today brings angles. Power, timing, and mental toughness that even prime Floyd never had to confront. Meaning Oscar sees greatness in Floyd's past, but Crawford represents greatness now. And that's the key distinction, because this isn't about who Floyd embarrassed years ago. It's about who rules today, and the smart money is all on Crawford.
The fight said that Crawford was way better than Floyd. You know Crawford, you know Canelo, you know Floyd. What do you think? Who would win in a fight?
My man. I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all.
Jeff Mayweather admits something fans already know. Floyd's true prime was years ago. And he makes a valid point that by the time Floyd was in his mid-30s, he wasn't at his physical best, but relied on skill, IQ, and experience to get through. And yes, he made it look like every win was monumental. But Crawford today isn't chasing illusions of being in his prime. He's living it, because at 36, Bud is fresh, active, and operating at his peak. And that's the massive difference, since Floyd at that age was calculating how to preserve his record, while Crawford at this age is hunting greatness. And Jeff's words highlight the contrast perfectly, with one man extending his legacy and the other building it in real time. And fans don't want shadows of past primes. They want the man of the moment, and that man is Terence Bud Crawford.
We remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course.
Yeah, nobody had it.
And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20 something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
how you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
But want to
make himself look like he did something.
Max Kellerman lays it out clean. Floyd wasn't great because of raw power, but because of precision, reflexes, and an almost impenetrable defense. But here's where it gets interesting. Crawford isn't just a power puncher. He's the most adaptable fighter of this generation who can go southpaw or orthodox, counterpunch or lead, box on the back foot or press forward. And against a technician like Floyd, that adaptability becomes a nightmare. Because while Floyd's defense might hold up for a few rounds, Crawford's ability to adjust and switch gears would eventually break through. And that's the difference between dominance in the past and dominance today. Since Floyd beat great names but never faced someone with Bud's unique mix of size, reach, versatility, and killer instinct. And Kellerman's question lingers because it cuts to the heart of the debate. Floyd's style was brilliant, but Crawford's style might just be the antidote.
Wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it.
This is more than just a fight, it's a battle for legacy. Because if Terence Crawford beats Floyd Mayweather, he doesn't just add another name to his resume. He proves beyond doubt that he's the pound-for-pound king of this era, eclipsing a man who once ruled boxing with an iron fist. But if Floyd somehow shocks the world and finds a way to outclass Crawford, the narrative changes and suddenly the legend reclaims his throne and rewrites history once more. With the stakes sky high, skill versus adaptability, nostalgia versus prime hunger, past greatness against present dominance, leaving fans asking who really wants it more, who is mentally sharper, who is physically fresher, and who walks away with the crown. And that's the question that will divide opinion until fight night. So are you backing Crawford's prime brilliance, or do you believe Floyd can still pull off the upset? Drop your thoughts below.